Okay everyone, so now we are creating a Windows application where we will display the numbers 1 to 9 in the text box. And here we are doing all these operations using the for loop. So first of all we have created the new project and giving the name, let's say, for loop. Now afterward I want a text box where I want to display these numbers. So first of all I am taking a label here. In this label, I am mentioning the name as series. So I am changing it. Series is the name I am giving. Then afterward clicking back, you can see that this is the series. Now we are going to take the text box. So we are taking it here. Now this is the name text box 1. Afterward we need a button because whenever we click on the button, afterward this code should be executed. So here the name of button, let's say I am giving click. Now I want to give the name of form as well. This form one I want to change. So I click on the form here. I will go on the text property and give the name. Let's say I am giving my name here. I am clicking back on the form. So if I run this project, then afterward this same type of form will be displayed. So we are having this form. Now I want that whenever I click over here, then there is some kind of series should be displayed. So I'm crossing it and I know that if I click on this button, at that time action should be triggered. So coding should be behind the button. So I'm going back on the design part of the form. Afterward double clicking on the button. Here we can see that this is the coding of button. Here we want that from 1 to 9 numbers should be displayed inside the text box 1. So we are going back. First of all we are declaring a variable here. Let's say dim a as integer. So one variable a we have declared of integer type. We know that to run the for loop we need a variable. That's why we have taken this variable. Now we are understanding how to apply the for loop. It is in the .NET we write for a is equal to 1. We know that the range is going from 1 to 9. That's why the initial value we are taking for a is equal to 1 and 2 means last value. The last value is 9. Simply press enter. Now afterward .NET will automatically complete it. In the for we are having next. Just like we understand the class is ending with the end class because there is no concept of braces like C. So class ending with the end class, this is one block. Inside that we are having sub. Sub stands for the function. So function we are having end sub. So this is one block. Now for next, this is block. So coding will be inside that. So for coding we will perform inside for and next block. So for a is equal to 1 to 9. Now afterward we are simply writing, let's say text box 1 dot text is equal to what we want to print. We want to print a. So the text box we want to print the a value. Now we will see that what are the output of this program and what we have to modify. So first of all, let's say if I am running this program now, I click over there. Now you can see that 9 is coming. In the text box we are having the last value 9. The complete range is not showing. I will tell you how. When I click on this button, this coding run, the variable a declared of integer type. Afterward a start from 1 goes till 9. In the text box a was taken. You assume that once the loop was started, this is I am writing manually to make you understand. When loop started, the value of a was 1. Now this a was displayed to text box 1. Now afterward again it go back, the a become 2 and text box value become 2. Now when the value of text box become 2, the earlier value was lost. Similarly 2 will lost, 3 will come, 3 will lost, 4 will come, 4 will lost, 5 will come, similarly 6, 7, 8, 9. This thing I am doing manually to make you understand because this is editable. So the last value we are getting, that means if I run this project, I will get the last value. So I am again running it. Now if I click over there, the last value I am getting, but I want the series. So what we want, let's say there is nothing inside that. Now textbook should be taking the previous value. Let's say we are having the blank right now. So blank will be concatenated with the first value. So 1 should come here. Now this 1 should concatenate with the 2. Now 1 to concatenate with the 3. These concatenate with 4 and so on. So that's what we want. So means the previous value we want. So if I want the previous value, I will modify the code here. We will write textbox1 dot text, and then we concat with one space, and then we concat with the variable a. So this is how we can modify this code. Now see what is the output. So let's say if I run this, now you can see that if I click 1, 2, 3, 9, you can see that initially there is a small gap here, because when the project started, let's say if I am removing all this, the project started, there is nothing. Whenever the a was 1, nothing concat with a. So nothing and a, you can see that nothing 1, then nothing 1 concat with 2, then 3, then 4. This way the whole series is coming. So textbox1 dot text means the previous value, concat with the space and concat with the new value, and whole stored to the textbox1. So this way you can see that 1 space 2 space 3 and so on is coming right now. So this is the syntax of for loop. If we compare this for loop with the C programming, in the C we also already have the increment, but here we don't have. There is an option which is step and step 1. Now you understand that this step 1 is optional. If I run this program one more time, then you will see we will be getting the same output. You can see that. So this step 1 is optional. Let's say you want to provide step 2, 3, 4, then it is required. So if you are having the normal increment of 1, means let's say you are starting from 1 going till 9 with the increment of 1, then you should not provide this step 1, or you provide it, no problem. Both ways it is optional. But let's say you want a different sequence 1, 3, 5. So between 1 and 3 there is a gap of 2, so you can provide 2 here. Now see what will be the output. So if I provide 1, 2, then you click over there 1, 3, 5. So gap of 2 is there. You want to provide the gap of 3, then you can step 3. Now if you run this program again, then we click 1, 4, 7. So the gap of 3. So this way, based upon the step, you can provide. But here in this program, we want the step 1. So if I run this program again, you will be having the sequence which is 1 to 9, and I has told you that this step 1 is optional. So if you delete it, then even if you run, you can see that same kind of output will come from 1 to 9. Now you can see that this text box is enabled because I can change it. With the backspace I can change the values, so that should not be like, I don't want that. So that means I want to make this disable. So you will be going back on the coding, you double click on the form, and here on the form load means whenever you click on this start button, then whenever form load, at that time you want that text box should be disabled. So this text box we want to disable. So we will simply write textbox1 dot enabled equal to false. So when the program will run, this will be false. So now you see I am running this program again. Afterward, you can see that this text box is now no more enabled. We can see it. We can see the output, but I cannot change it. I cannot click over there. So it is not possible. So whenever I run this code, this comes here. So textbox1 dot enable false. Textbox is there. It is not enabled. Now, if I click on the button, you can see that output is displayed. So we already know that on click of button, variable is declared. A will go from 1 to 9, and the previous value concat with the new value going to the text box. So this way the loop run and show you the complete sequence. So this is how we can provide numbers from 1 to 9 to the text box using the for loop.